What's up, you guys? It's your girl Vanessa Ramona, and I am back with another video. Liked, already subscribed to my channel, or liked or comment, definitely go ahead and do that now. And then also hit that post notification bell just to let you know when I drop another video, so you don't miss any content that I actually drop on my channel. So without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and jump right into this video. As you can tell by the title, I'm touching on a very touchy subject. This subject I feel like is definitely a taboo subject. Many people talk about this subject, but I think it's kind of like hit and miss. And I think a lot of times it's better to hear different sides. I know you probably have heard so many different people's testimonies about, depression and anxiety and fear and, all those many different things. But I think a lot of times it's good to hear it from different perspectives, because I feel like one person can reach, some people, and then I can reach people that somebody else might not be able to reach. So I definitely feel like, it's great to hear it from different perspectives. So I can say my depression and anxiety and all that stuff started back when I was in elementary school. Of course, I was too young to understand what it was, but now that I'm looking on it, this was something that I actually dealt with in elementary school early on. So when I started school, I absolutely hated school. Absolutely, and it really didn't start getting bad until like my fourth, fifth grade year. I absolutely hated school. I didn't want to go to school. I didn't want to make friends. I didn't want to talk to nobody. I was very isolated. Don't talk to me. I don't know you. Leave me alone. I don't want to be here. Don't give me no work assignment. Like, that's how I was. I was just in this bubble. Of course I had, a few of my little friends or whatever, but for the most part, I was a very closed off individual. I didn't want to meet nobody new. Like, give me the same people that I've been knowing, and the rest of y'all don't talk to me, period. Boop. I didn't have an attitude. I didn't have an attitude problem per se. But I think I just kind of wore that look that's just like, don't talk to me. Because a lot of people ask, like, are you mad? And I'm just like, in my mind, I'm just like, no. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be here. You feel what I'm saying? And so, the teachers used to tell my mom all the time, like, she's a good kid, but she just doesn't interact. She don't do no work. Like, she doesn't do work. Like, and she knows this stuff, but she just doesn't want to do it, because at a young age, I just knew that this is not something that I want to do. So I thought, you know what I'm saying? So going on in elementary school, I began to become a little bit more social, like, up in like my sixth and seventh grade year. And then I transferred out of that school, or graduated from elementary school. And in those times, we didn't do middle school. So it was straight from elementary school straight to high school. So my eighth grade year, I was, in high school. So, that's definitely a big, transition, because you go from elementary to this innocent kid to like thrown in the pack of wolves. You know what I'm saying? This is high school. You with seniors, juniors, sophomores. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, that was a whole different culture. And at this time in eighth grade, I was, I came out of my shell a little bit more. I hung with a few of the little popular kids of eighth grade, you know what I'm saying? And I thought that would give me fulfillment, but it really didn't. At a young age, I just really felt like I wasn't enough. You feel me? And I don't care how many times, you know what I'm saying, my parents, they were there, they supported, all the whole nine. Just something within me just felt like I just was never good enough. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't the prettiest. I wasn't the smartest. I wasn't the, I wasn't the popular. I wasn't, I didn't have the finer things like everybody else had, and I think that was my main thing, like, just really feeling like, everybody else looked so good. They got on their fresh shoes. And, my mom and them, they did the best that they could. And I'm so appreciative of my mom and dad, because one thing about them, we might not have had the finer things, but my mom and them made sure that we had, like, the students went back to school. Guess what? We was going back to school with new stuff. It might not have been, expensive as your Jordans or whatever, but hey, I transitioned to eighth grade year, I thought that would give me fulfillment, because, I hung with a few of the little popular people. So it's just like, what's up, girl? Hey, girl, I'm going to call you when I get out of here. I'm going to call you. All right, so. Well, we didn't say so back in that time, but all right, girl. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But even in that, there was no fulfillment there. I still felt that it has to be more to life than this. You know what I'm saying? And so After that, you know what I'm saying, that was the year when I decided that I wanted to commit suicide. Or was that no, my 8th grade year was not the year that I wanted to commit suicide. It was when I transitioned over to this new school. We were staying in a certain place. And after my 8th grade year, we ended up moving to a whole nother side of town, and so therefore we had to go to a whole nother school. And this school was more of like the preppy, you know what I'm saying, like they had it, you know what I'm saying, they had it going on, like they were fresh, the shoes, you know what I'm saying. And once more and again, we couldn't afford it. So needless to say, there were times that I was picked at in school. There were times when I was teased in school if my hair wasn't, you know, right, or, you know what I'm saying, if I, you know, didn't have on, you know what I'm saying, the right clothes, or, you know, just anything. And it's just like, you know, so they would tease me from time to time, you know what I'm saying. And I think that's kind of where I get to this day. Like, I don't like to see nobody being bullied. I don't like to see nobody try to talk about nobody. I don't like to see, you know, any of that, because I'm just like, you know, as I got older, I'm just like, oh, that ain't flying with me now. And so I took on this whole persona like, oh, you can catch me outside for real. Like, what? Okay, you can catch me outside, because I'm not going to talk to you. We gonna do what we gotta do. I'm not going to talk. I'm not going to go back and forth with you. For what? Meet me outside, you know what I'm saying. So I took on that whole disposition, I guess because of how I was teased and stuff like that in school. So I think it was like around my 10th grade year, I was just like, I don't want to do this no more. I feel like there's more to there's more on the other side maybe than what I'm experiencing right now, you know what I'm saying. And so one day I went to church, you know, particular Sunday. I was just to myself, I was just like, you know what, this is just gonna be the last time they're gonna see me, because I'm gonna end it all. Like, this can't be what life is all about. And on top of that, you know, fear of the future, because I was flunking out of high school because I wasn't doing no work. I still wasn't doing any work. So it was like, you know, I was in the 10th grade, but I had 9th grade classes, you know what I'm saying. And so it's just like, it was just so much depression, and I don't care how much I smile. Like, I was a very silly person growing up, and that's how I use that to kind of mask my pain. Like, oh, let's laugh and joke with the people who I was comfortable around. Let's laugh, let's joke, let's, you know what I'm saying, do this, let's do that. But I was still depressed. I was still, you know, just not feeling like I had anything to offer this world. And so I had went to church that Sunday, and I was just like, you know, this is the last time they're going to see me, because I'm going to end it after this. Like, I'm going to end it. So I went home, and everybody was asleep. Everybody was in the bed. Everybody was asleep. And I told myself, I said, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. And so I went in the bathroom. And as I sat in the mirror, I was pointing out everything that was flawed about me. Everything, you know, all the little names that I was called in school or whatever, or, you know, little things that people picked at, you know what I'm saying? Now, I don't get it twisted. Like, I wasn't just the target every single day, you know what I'm saying? Like, people just talking about me every single day. It wasn't that, you know what I'm saying? But there were times when people would tease me, you know what I'm saying? And so I started picking out every flaw. Like, oh my God, your nose is too big. Oh my God, your lips are too wide. Oh, this, you ain't got no hair, you bald headed, you this, you that. And so with all of that, it's just like, I just began to just cry even more. It's just like, oh my God, like, this is what I have to do, you know what I'm saying? Because I just feel like my existence, you know what I'm saying, is the cause of all of this turmoil. I'm going to write up my letter, you know, I'm going to tell my parents that I'm sorry, you know, for disappointing them, and, you know, all these many different things. And in that moment, and I know some of you might not be religious, or some of you might not be spiritual or whatever, you know, you might not believe in what I believe in. But in that moment, it was just like this overwhelming presence that I felt that came over me. And every time I talk about it, I get chills. Like, I'm getting chills on my arm, like right now, just even talking about it. There was this overwhelming presence of just love that flooded me, man. That flooded me. And I know that it was nobody but Jesus. Like, I know that it was nobody but God. Like, it flooded me with so much just love, and the overwhelming peace, and just because in that moment I cried when I was pointing out all of my flaws. It's like I in that moment I cried out to him like, Lord, like, why? Like, why am I like this? Why did you make me like this? Why you didn't make me like this? And why you did that? You know, just going through all of this. And in that moment, it's just like he resolved all of those. Like, he resolved all of that. And I'm so grateful that I decided to get off of that counter, not write that letter, and most importantly, not take my life. I'm so grateful. And but years after that, I still dealt with that overwhelming feeling of, you know, still just not feeling like I belong, and feeling like I was not enough, I wasn't smart enough, I wasn't pretty enough, I wasn't this, I wasn't that, I wasn't this, I wasn't that. And so to a point where I still almost flunked out of school. I didn't really straighten up until the second semester of my 11th grade year, because the counselors told me, like, there's no way possible that you're going to graduate. There's no way possible. And I'm one of those type of people, like, when you tell me that I can't do something, I'm going to go even harder to prove that I am going to do it. They told me there's no way possible that you're going to, because you're going to have to do this, you're going to have to do that, you're going to have to do this. I was going to, it seemed like almost 3 schools at one time. But I was going to regular school, open campus, and I was going to night school, all so I can graduate. And I graduated on time with my class. And I'm so grateful for my mom and them. Like, my mom and them sacrificed so much to make sure that I got out of school on time. They sacrificed, oh my God, so much money, picking me all the way. We stay on one side of town. They drive me all the way to the other side of town at open campus to pick me up, then to drop me off at night school, then go home, and then come pick me back up from night school. Like, it was just so much money. And then summer school, I had to do summer school. So it was a lot, but I was determined that I was going to graduate on time. But even after that, you know, I graduated, went to college and graduated, and now I'm still in college now. I graduated from DeKalb Technical College or whatever, and now I'm back in school, Clayton State, getting my bachelor's in biology, and I'm starting businesses and all of that stuff or whatever. So, and that's absolutely amazing. Like, that, this is still blowing my mind. But you know, that's another topic for another different day, you know what I'm saying? But it was just, even in that, you know what I'm saying, getting out of school and all the other stuff, like, still dealing with that fear and that anxiety and that depression. And it came up with me, like, throughout my relationships and throughout my marriage and just so many different things. Like, if you don't be careful, like, you will allow depression and fear and anxiety to rule your entire life. And no longer did it become, it was still fear and hurt and so many other things, but it turned into rage. I dealt with rage issues. I dealt with so much rage, y'all. Like, to a point where I'm thanking God that I'm not in jail. You know what I'm saying? I'm thanking God that I didn't lose it and kill people and kill somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I dealt with this uncontrollable rage. Just uncontrollable rage. Like, you know, and it doesn't make me, I don't try to say it to try to make it seem like I'm this bad person, or I'm just this person that's just like, ooh, but I'm the type of person, I'll take up until here. And once I get there, when I did used to do this, once I got to that place, there was no calming me until I was satisfied with what I had given you. I was satisfied with what I had said. I was satisfied with what I had did to you. I was satisfied. I was very revengeful. Like, I had to get my revenge, some shape, form, or fashion. I had to get my revenge, whether it was with my words, whether it was with my fears, whether it was with, you know what I'm saying, destroying some stuff, whether it was with, you know, that was me, because I felt like it would come on me so strong to a point where it felt like I had to do something. And like, I'm one of those ones that would walk back and forth and talk to myself like, don't do it. Please don't do it. If I felt like I was going there, you know, and so I would try to forewarn people, you know what I'm saying? You might don't want to keep messing with me, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, okay. I let them sit there and I let them talk. But once I get to that point, it's best that you flee my presence or you need to run, because I'm gonna get my revenge, and I'm coming at you. Like, I'm coming at you, you know. And I'm so thankful for deliverance. I'm so thankful for God delivering me from that aspect of my life. And shout out to one of my friends. I know she's gonna watch this. Even within the last year, she had to talk me off of the ledge. She had to talk me out of going to jail. She had to talk me out of saying, sis, if you do this, is it going to be worth it? You're going to be in jail. You're going to do this. You're going to, like, is it going to be worth it? All the stuff that you get ready to do, is it going to be worth it? And I'm so grateful that God placed her in my life to really help me to see the bigger picture. And you guys, when I tell you God delivered me from that, I barely get mad anymore. Like, I'm to a point where I'm just like, okay, we're just not, just drop it. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? I dodged that bullet, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm just like, no, I'm not going back to the old me. But I'm so grateful that God delivered me from depression and anxiety and fear of the future, fear of failure, fear of not, you know what I'm saying, being great, you know what I'm saying, fear of always living in poverty, fear of, you know what I'm saying, living paycheck to paycheck. And I'm so grateful that God delivered me from that. And one of the reasons God delivered me, or he helped me with that, I ended up getting an accountability partner. My sis, one of my closest friends, she's like my accountability partner. Like, anytime I'm getting ready to, like, feel like I'm about to go off, I hit her up. I'm like, sis, listen. And she's just like, no, sis, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. And I'm just like, all right, sis. All right. And it brings me, you know. So if this is something that you're dealing with, depression and anxiety and fear and rage and all these many different things or whatever, find you an accountability partner. One of the ways that I broke out of this whole depression and just feeling like I was just a lost cause. I felt like I was ugly. Every time I looked in the mirror, I just felt like I was so ugly and I really didn't have anything to offer. It wasn't until last year, you guys, literally, it wasn't until last year, to a point where I made a conscious decision to say, you know what, I'm no longer going to live in depression. I'm no longer going to live in fear. Until you identify that, you're going to keep going in that cycle. You have to identify what it is: depression, anxiety, fear, hurt, rejection, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? You have to identify what that thing is. And once you identify that, get you an accountability partner. Definitely go to therapy. I encourage therapy. I don't care what nobody says. I encourage therapy. Hands down. I encourage therapy, sitting down, talking to somebody, you know what I'm saying, sitting down, airing out what it is, because a lot of times we go through these different things that we say we don't understand where they come from, but if you go back into childhood things or whatever, you'll find out exactly where that root stemmed from. One thing that helped me, I got up every morning. I don't care when I went in there and to you know, when I woke up to go in there and brush my teeth and to, you know, take my bath and all of that amazing stuff or whatever, I would look at myself in the mirror every single day and I would say, you're worth it. And I would quote a scripture: you are beautifully and wonderfully made. You're made in his image. You're amazing. You're awesome. You're smart. You're intelligent. You're a college graduate. You're this, you're that, you know. And I would have to literally speak this to myself, because one thing, and then I'm going to let you guys go, one thing that is very, very important is what you rehearse in your mind, over and over and over and over and over again, because even the Bible talks about and tells us what to think on what things are positive and lovely and good report, and you know, all of those amazing things, because whatever you rehearse in your mind, you speak it out of your mouth, and whatever you speak out of your mouth is what creates your atmosphere. So because I was speaking so much doom and gloom, like, oh my God, I'm a failure, I'm a this, I'm a that, because I was rehearsing in my mind so much that it was just easily flowing out of my mouth. mouth. And power is in your tongue. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. And so the more I spoke that, the more I created my atmosphere of depression, more, you know what I'm saying, hurt, more pain, more, you know, fear, and more anxiety. But I started rehearsing in my mind all of those amazing things. You're fearfully and wonderfully made. You're beautiful. You're gorgeous. You're intelligent. You're smart. You know what I'm saying? Somebody loves you, and, you know, you're loved by God, and all these amazing things. I rehearsed that in my mind to a point where now it comes out of my mouth easily. Like, oh, I know what? So now you can't tell me nothing. What? Oh, man. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's one of the things, whatever, you have to definitely rehearse that in your mind every single day, that I am loved. I am somebody. You know, I am smart. I am intelligent. I am a beautiful chocolate drop for my chocolate sisters. I am a beautiful melon drop for my lighter skin. You know what I'm saying? I am a beautiful caramel pop for, you know, some of my caramel sisters. You know what I'm saying? I am white mocha for, you know what I'm saying, my lighter skin sisters. You feel what I'm saying? So, you're beautiful. So, and another thing that I want to leave you guys with, my friend, the one who's my accountability partner, I love her so much. There are times when I want to get in this place and I want to kind of resort back and I want to kind of go back. And she said, no, sis, you can't go back. She said, one thing about a place, you can always vacate that place and move to another place. So you don't have to live in depression. You can always pack your load and you can move to a place of happiness. You don't have to go back to fear. You can always pack your load and you can go to a place of peace and, you know, all of that, you know, enjoy. So one thing about a place, you don't have to stay there. You don't have to remain in that place. You can always move. So to everybody out there that's going through depression, that's going through, you know, anxiety, that's going through fear, you don't have to live there anymore. You have to make a conscious decision that I want more from my life. I'm no longer going to allow fear and failure and all these things to ruin my life, to hold me down. Because at the end of the day, years and years are going by while you're allowing this to suppress you, while you're allowing this to filtrate your mind, and you're just holding yourself back for so many opportunities that God has for you. And so I want to let you know, if you're in that place, move from that place and say, you know what, today I choose peace. And it's an everyday fight, you guys. I'm not going to sit here and say that, oh, once it's just whatever, you know what I'm saying? No. So with all that being said, I love you. My sisters, my brothers, I love you. If nobody else tell you that you're special to me. I love you. And if you're going through some things and you feel like I can be of some help, definitely follow me on my social media. Hit me up in my inbox. Listen, I'm not one of those people who feel like, oh my God, who is this calling me? Who, you know, that was the old me back in, you know, high school or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm very a genuine, outgoing person. I love to make people laugh. I love meeting new people. I love people. So you will walk into the purpose and the plan that God has for you, because if you didn't have a purpose and you didn't have a plan, then you wouldn't be on this earth. But because you are here, that lets you know that God has a need of you. He has a plan and purpose for you. And every single day that we see and every single day that we have to wake up and breathe in new air is an opportunity for us to live out the plan that God has for us. So I love you guys.